Let's go, everybody. Don't forget to unmute yourself. How is it going? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Thank you for joining me. I had an absolutely crazy night last night. I have guests visiting. I've talked about that on the stream, and their flight got diverted to LA. I had to drive into where all the fires are. Luckily, it was fine. But there's a bunch of road closures and stuff, and then I had to drive back because my mom's visiting. She came to see the kiddos. It's almost their birthday. And yeah, it was a little bit crazy. I'm not still muted. I should be good now. I can see the levels. I see the levels bouncing. Anyway, so apologies for the late stream. I have got to get on a schedule with this thing. It has been sort of crazy. As you can see by the title of the stream, there are more rumors yet again about Xbox and their exclusives and Halo and all that stuff. That's one of the stories that we're going to discuss. I know on YouTube people like the Xbox stuff, so we're going to talk about the Xbox stuff. But beyond that, there was also a bit of an update about Ubisoft. Ubisoft had an earnings call where they talked about some of the things that have been going on behind the scenes. We're going to talk about that. Nintendo refuted the idea that those schematics are anything close to reality. Well, let me get into the specific phrasing about what they said. They were very careful about what they said and how they said it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 previews are out. What else? What else happened? Lots has happened. A lot has happened in the last few days. I didn't think I would have anything to talk about today. And then all of this stuff ended up going absolutely wild. I can't believe it. It's absolutely crazy. Sorry for getting started late. Let's not waste any time. I do appreciate it very much. So, 1 second. Is the stream promoted correctly and everything? Yeah, I'm just getting started late. So my wife's about to come back with the kids and it's going to get crazy. Let's get into the news. So we're going to talk about this Nate the Hate story. Nate the Hate has, we're going to talk about the Bungie Gummy Bears thing too, Clay. Good call out. Philaroni, good to see you. Oh boy. Hazendor Dragon has a good synopsis of the Nate the Hate video. I don't know how much we need to dive into it beyond that. Rumor, as per Insider, Nate the Hate, Halo Master Chief Collection and Microsoft Flight Simulator coming to Switch 2 and PS5 in 2025. Square Enix Final Fantasy VII Remake will be coming to Xbox and Switch 2 in 2025. Rebirth sometime in 2026. I am in the camp with a very few people where I don't particularly have any worry about Halo, the Master Chief Collection, going over to PS5. Man Cave says, may fortune favor you, solo campaign. Thanks, Man Cave. I do appreciate it very much. I think that's fine. Honestly, somebody in chat said W trade for Xbox. Long story short, this is a rumor. This is Nate the Hate. Nate the Hate, he's had, I think he's had a good track record, hasn't he? I haven't looked into his past leaks and such, but he has said that Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and Microsoft Flight Simulator are coming to Switch 2. The old Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't see a lot of people playing Flight Simulator on their Steam Deck. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see any Microsoft Flight Simulator running on Switch 2. I could see it on the PlayStation 5 for sure. I could see it on the PlayStation 5, absolutely. I do not see that happening on the Switch 2. I don't care how powerful that little handheld is. I would be very surprised. I'd have to look more into it, but my immediate reaction is, I don't know about that. Great news for Xbox fans who've been waiting for Final Fantasy VII. Maybe they'll even package it in some sort of deal where you get Nate's 50-50 on predictions chat saying, I would love it though on the Square Enix rumor, if they end up packaging it, Square Enix and Phil Spencer were on stage together talking about how more games are going to be coming to other platforms in the near future. So for me personally, I think that's great news. I would love to see Final Fantasy on other platforms. And then there is the Halo Master Chief Collection coming to the PlayStation 5. How do you feel about that, chat? Are you concerned about the old Halo games going to PlayStation 5? I personally, well, I don't want to be leading. I'm going to start a poll. Halo MCC on PlayStation 5, win or loss? Is it a W or an L? I don't know how I feel about it. I'm like indifferent. I've played all the Halo games. I had them already. I thought what they would do is wait a little bit longer, wait until Halo Studios. By the way, 343 Guilty Spark, you know, from the Halo games, the Arbiter, not the Arbiter, sorry, the Arbiter of Wisdom was their original name. Man, I tried to save that one and it just came out even worse, I think, because I got ratioed so hard for that video. Yeah, you just got to take the L sometimes. I should have just Googled it in the video and then been like, oh yeah, it's 343 Guilty Spark. But anyway, think about it this way. If the old Halo games end up going to PlayStation 5, Microsoft's going to get a ton of money from that. A lot of PlayStation 5 fans are just going to be like, haha, got you. We have Halo 2. Look at all our Halo games. And it's like, yeah, I played those for 15 years. Win for PlayStation, guys. L for Xbox and preservation. Wait. JV, can you elaborate on why that would be an L for preservation? Isn't having it in more places a good thing? And also, I still have my Halo Windows disc. You can... Gearbox made the Halo 1 version on disc, and like you can go buy that right now. So I don't really understand why it's an L for preservation. And I still have all my old discs for the old games. Caleb says, I feel kind of meh about it. It's older Halo, and I'd love for more people to play Halo, but can't help feel like it's the first step down a bad road. Caleb, I got bad news for you. I think Indiana Jones was that first step. I think everything's coming to PlayStation 5 at this point, and I have just kind of accepted that that's the new reality we live in. Xbox clearly is not going to win the console race in any near future. I need to scale these down a little bit. Thank you, Red Wolf. Maybe I'll put them like down here. Yeah, that's a good spot. It's just how it's going to be. And I am curious like how PlayStation's going to change their release strategy to Windows. Take a shot every time Destin says consoles aren't growing. I don't understand the pushback on that one, because every analyst has talked about the console market growth that I've read. Like Dr. Shirkan Toto talked about it. Daniel Ahmad talked about it. I think Pierce Harding Rolls talked about it. So like everything I've read from analysts talk about how the growth margin in the console business has been small or non-existent. So these companies who are now spending like 3 times the amount that they were even 5 years ago need to look for new revenue streams. So I'm not like anti-console. Just to be clear, I don't like hate the consoles or anything like that. If you want to play on console, I think that is one avenue where you can play games. Destin personally prefers PC. I like to push and pull those levers and play there. Retro Gamer says 100 million consoles have sold. It has sold just fine and hasn't grown to their desired amount. Some things don't grow. Yeah, it is. Consoles have sold like, I think, cumulative, like if you look at all of the numbers put together, I want to say the number's 300 million that the console ceiling hits after a given period of time. And that's not, make no mistake, that's not bad. That's not a negative. That's not like a dig at consoles. It's great. It's absolutely great for the console market. But the business hats at these companies put on their business hats and say, line must go up. Line not go up enough. How can we make more money? And that's largely my point on it. I don't think anybody's wrong. I don't think anybody's silly for liking consoles. I just think that that's the reality of the situation we live in. And that's a big part of the reason why Xbox, with their, I don't know, 30, 40 million install base of consoles, they're looking for other ways to reach a larger audience. And I do think that, as Jason Ronald, we talked about it recently on the stream, is looking to improve the operating system on the Windows device and on handhelds. The next console war isn't going to be a console war. It's going to be a handheld war. I don't know what try 110 is, but wow. Thank you, Small Time. I'm pleased that the imminent okay. Thanks, Small Time. I do appreciate it. I don't know if I agree with that, but I do appreciate the 110 try. With all these moves by Xbox, can you make a speculation who Microsoft will acquire next, EA or Sega? I already said Take-Two, jokingly. I don't think that will happen, though. Tali Zora Naraya, wish you luck and joy. Thank you so much. Anyway, sort of talked about that. So these barriers are being torn down, and I do think that the reality that we end up living in the near future, in terms of like what the console market looks like, what the PC market looks like, etc., I do think that is going to change in the near future. So chat said we had 161 votes. You know, it's a small sample size, but they said win 62% for MCC going to PS5 and L 37% in terms of where we are at currently. So again, from Nate the Hate, some people in chat are saying that this is basically a 50-50 win ratio. We will see. I don't know. I don't know about that. The story that I really want to talk about is this Ubisoft story. So the Ubisoft story has evolved a little bit since we talked about it literally yesterday, because they did an investors call, and it says Ubisoft appoints advisors to explore all company options. Now, there's some key quotes. So I went and I don't think I'm allowed to play the audio from this, but I had it transcribed. So just so you know, this is a transcription of the actual earnings call that was released this morning. And we're just going to look, I'll just read back what was said during it, because I don't think I'm allowed to play the audio editor. We've made good progress, and I'm confident that this will position Ubisoft for a stronger future. Of course, talking about delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows and all of the strategy changes that we talked about in the future. But a lot of people were trying to dive in about Tencent and whether or not they're going to end up purchasing the company and what sort of changes that they plan to make. And here's what Yves Guillemot ended up saying about that particular situation. With the appointment of leading advisors, we are actively exploring various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders. We are convinced that there are several potential paths, which is very interesting, to generate value for Ubisoft assets and franchises. Very interesting that they're talking about various paths and options that they are currently exploring in order to maximize revenue. Now, they were pressed about the rumors and speculation of purchase, and they did talk about it a little bit. Of course, we won't comment on specific rumors that we've seen in the market, but we are convinced there are several potential paths, again, reiterating what was said earlier, to generate value from Ubisoft assets and franchises. We will inform the market if and when the transaction materializes. They're confirming, they basically confirmed that, yeah, we're in talks right now. We'll let you know what happens. So they were pressed one more time during the earnings call about it. And the only reason I'm reading this, by the way, is because I don't know what the rules are with these calls. So I transcribed it and I'm reading the transcription. Let's read this really quick because there was one more thing about it. Are there concrete things they're looking at, or was it they're looking at several possible thematic options? If you like, this is an investor trying to get more details about what they're talking about, right? Well, you know, of course, we are limited with what we can say today, but we have started a process with, okay, thank you, with advisors. So just one more step. Let me see. Is that the whole thing? So it's just one more step. Okay, thank you. So they're starting a process with advisors. They'll let us know when the transaction transpires. Stuff's up at Ubisoft, y'all. Now, Insider Gaming did a great job of doing a synopsis of what is going on here. Ubisoft appoints advisors to explore all company options. And basically, from the press release yesterday, we read this yesterday, they clipped this out. Following the strategic and execution reviews initiated by the executive committee a few months ago, Ubisoft is taking decisive steps to reshape the group in order to deliver best-in-class player experiences and enhance operational efficiency and maximize value creation, the company said via press release shortly before the call took place. And during the call, Yves Guillemot said that this group of advisors will review and pursue various transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders. He didn't give details as to what those advisors are, but did say that things will be overseen by the independent members and the board of directors. I think they're going to sell y'all. I mean, they kind of had their chance over the last few years. I don't think Assassin's Creed is going to be a game that ends up impacting things one way or another. So I'm not really sure on that. But it's definitely concerning for Ubisoft's future. Going back to the Halo thing for just a second, YouTube is censoring my comments, says, am I the only, well, I'm going to read your comment. Am I the only one who thinks that MCC on Switch would be an amazing idea for both Xbox and Nintendo, or just ports of all the Gears of War games on Switch? I think that would be great. I think that's a really smart way to do it, honestly. And then beyond that, there was a little bit more about what Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to entail, including the first expansion, Claws of Awaji, will have 10 plus hours of new content. So I believe they talked about how they're adjusting their content strategies. Their games are going to be day and date on the Steam site. So you're able to purchase games on Steam immediately. And here's what Insider Gaming said about this report. Assassin's Creed Shadows' first expansion, Claws of Awaji, has been revealed to contain over 10 hours of additional content. That sounds pretty good. And new information comes courtesy of the Steam page. All right, so it's just the... Oh. Boop. It's just straight from their page. Where's the Claws of Awaji? I don't see anything about Claws of Awaji. Anyway, we'll just take their word for it. Which was updated after the game's recent delay. New and noteworthy. I don't know how to use Steam, everybody. I apologize. I don't see anything about a specific name. We'll just read what they said. As part of the update, the new description reads, pre-purchase now to get a bonus mission and the upcoming Claws of Awaji expansion, travel to a new region, get over 10 hours of additional content, and unlock a new weapon type, new skills, gears, and abilities. I'll be honest with y'all. The more that I think about whatever Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be, I am very, very curious where they take this story. I am very, very curious wherever Assassin's Creed Shadows ends up going. And I think it's going to sell totally fine because most people aren't terminally online like me. They're not paying attention to all this stuff, and it has that Assassin's Creed brand recognition. So I think it's going to be fine. Doesn't matter if it's day one on Steam, if I still have to use their launcher and link a Ubisoft account. Yeah, we'll see. Unkai, thank you for the Twitch subscription. I do appreciate it. You can subscribe on Twitch for free, by the way, using your Amazon Prime membership if you would like to. Unkai, Denkai, I do greatly appreciate it. I'm really curious about this game. I have said for, months now, that I'm actually really curious about whatever they do with the Yasuke story. And I think Nawe is the other character. Even if it's let's say it's a complete disaster, this is a story that I think will be pivotal for wherever Ubisoft ends up going. I can't talk today. Sorry, long night. And I'm really curious to see what they end up doing, for better or for worse. Like, I think a lot of the internet is already thinking that it's not going to be good or whatever. I don't know that I'm in that camp. I'm just curious. Whatever story they end up telling, I'm very curious to see what they do with it. Big Willie, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. I still got those old school animations from when I set them up years ago. Thank you so much. Gears should just stay on Xbox. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens there. Who in chat? I got another poll idea. I am very curious to hear your thoughts. Will you play AC Shadows? Yes or no? So there's been a lot of controversy about Shadows. A lot of people were criticizing Thomas Lockley. There's all the Thomas Lockley writing and such. I honestly, I don't want them to tell. I read all of the documents, or I watched the YouTube video that went over all the documents about Yasuke and his involvement there. I would rather play a game that is the Thomas Lockley interpretation of the story versus like the real story. The real story is pretty boring, actually. It's like he went there, they hung out with him, and then we don't know what happened. I think it's a really good template to tell an Assassin's Creed story. Ubisoft definitely put themselves in a bit of a precarious spot, though, because they used somebody as the protagonist who was a figure in history, and we actually know a little bit about it, but like the real story isn't that exciting. So whatever fantastical version they come up with, I'm down. Let's go on a journey together. Let's go on a ride. Let's see what Ubisoft cooked up with Yasuke and Nawe and figure out how that ends up panning out. So I'm not in the I've seen all the videos about the historical accuracy and all of that stuff, but I am curious about whatever story they wind up telling, for better or for worse. I'm just here for the ride. That's sort of my mentality with Shadows at this point. Dwayne, thank you for the $10. Says, hey, Destin, I'm just now tuning in. If more Xbox games are coming to Switch 2 and PlayStation, does that mean the whole slate, including Starfield, coming to PlayStation? I think so. And mentally, I've just been in that place for a long time where anytime one of these stories happen, I don't really even have a reaction to it personally anymore. I'm just like, yeah, it's another rumor that we know nothing about. I want to know what Xbox is going to say about it. Is Xbox going to confirm that Starfield is coming to PlayStation? Starfield was in dev for PS5. I mean, it was a long time before, but yeah. So anyway, Unkai says, I'm not interested in AC anymore. There were a lot of great games in the series, but personally, I've lost interest in the franchise. I do think that sentiment might be true. I think for a lot of people, Assassin's Creed is getting a little, what's the saying? Long in the tooth? Is that the saying? Anyway, it means like it's been around for a long time. Personally, I like the rumors that they were going to remake Black Flag. I think that would be really, really cool. I have enjoyed how they've changed the franchise a little bit. I think that started with Origins. So like how the mechanics work and everything. But I think Origins when I couldn't go anywhere in the map and tackle the more difficult challenges because I was getting like XP throttled, that was a big turnoff for me for the Assassin's Creed franchise. I don't want the game to be dictating that like, oh, sorry, you got to go grind and get better gear. Like it's Assassin's Creed. I'm an assassin. I don't want to go grind and get better gear. Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and I think even 3 did this, would sort of block you out from regions of the map. But like, I'm an assassin. If I want to be stupid and go to like the castle and try and take on the tougher guy before I'm all geared out, that makes sense. But I don't want to do XP grinding in an Assassin's Creed game. That was a big turnoff for me. I want to play through the story, naturally progress my character, naturally go to the new areas, and I really enjoyed that. And I think that's why a lot of people enjoyed. I'm blanking on the name of it. What was the Assassin's Creed Mirage? I think it was Mirage. It was well received. The last two Assassin's Creeds that were well received, I think Mirage, they highlighted as a success. And then there was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, was sort of their benchmark for what it was. Now, I am definitely I would rather 5 more Mirages that released at a not $70 price point. It wasn't $70 at launch, if I remember correctly. Let me make sure on that. And it also wasn't like 100 hours. Yeah, I think it launched at $49.99. Well, you can get it now, $49.99. The deluxe edition is $59.99. I hated Mirage, but loved Origins. Yeah, see, like they're releasing these games in a way where every once in a while a game comes along that sort of speaks to people. And I think the reason I liked Mirage is because the protagonist was closer in terms of design to Altair. I know everybody loves Ezio Auditore de Firenze, but I really loved Altair and his loyalty to the assassins, and then the assassins betray him. And man, I really love that first story. I actually made like a movie or something of the original game and really enjoyed it. So I worry that Shadows, though, maybe it's gone too far. I think there is something to be said about the idea of slaughtering people in Japan. I don't know. I think that's it's just strange. And the way they've presented Yasuke, I don't know. I did see the recent gameplay, though. It looks like they're taking a lot of the feedback to heart, and they are trying to make improvements. I don't know. I'm definitely 1000% in the camp of, all right, you sold, like, I'm in the ride. I want to take the ride now. I want to see whatever journey this is going to be. Let's hypothetically say it's a Unity level disaster where like character faces are falling off and stuff like that. That's a story. Let's say it's just like, fine. That's a story. What if it's good? What if they somehow managed to make a great Assassin's Creed game? All of those stories, I'm down for. But anyway, Ubisoft is also entering its most challenging year in its history. I feel like I've talked about it too much, but Ubisoft has been in a very difficult position for a long time. And that earnings call that we just talked about makes it sound like that's not going to change in the near future. It sounds to me like they need to figure out their monetary situation. They closed 3 studios, they said during the call, I believe. I believe it was 3. I know they closed San Francisco because I used to work right across the street from it. And I know they closed an international studio. And then I think there was one more that I'm not remembering the name of. But it has been very tumultuous for that company. And I'm sort of curious where things go from there. Going back to the Halo thing for just a second. Oh, yeah. And then, sorry, real quick. Somebody in chat brought up Ghost of Yotei. Here's the thing about Ghost of Yotei. Going back and playing Ghost of Tsushima, that game has just tons of characters that you can latch on to. There's one of the first missions is you meet this woman who's a thief. She lost her whole family. She teaches you how to do stealth. One of the first missions are you meet this archer who trained this other archer who is defected to the enemy team. And then you have to go and figure out how to kill that person, basically. That's just in the opening hours of the game. So Ghost of Tsushima, really, really cool. Really, really cool premise. And I am even more excited about the historical elements that will be integrated into however they decide to interpret Ghost of Yotei. I think they're going to talk about everything that happened during that time period. And I don't mean to keep harping on it, but yeah. Why did you never play Tsushima before and nobody cares? Why did I never play it before? I don't really have a good reason, honestly. I think I just played it a bit and then I played something else. I have this thing. Oh, it came out when I was like super hardcore into Destiny. I think I was just playing Destiny and not a whole lot else at that time. I would play like Destiny and Titanfall. I don't think there's much more of a reason beyond that. Continuing on here, Nintendo Switch 2 is reportedly getting 2 major Xbox games. That's what the VGC article says, and it is a synopsis basically of what Nate the Hate said. He is a podcaster with a history of correctly reporting on unreleased video games. Both games are planned for the system. Has Nate the Hate been correct in his past predictions? We're gonna start a Google Doc, y'all. All right. I'm gonna go start a Google Doc. We're gonna track Nate the Hate because this is like the 10th time he has come up in conversation, and I want to know what's his track record like. What else has Nate the Hate predicted? Because we can look back now. Nate the Hate. Okay, prediction. Xbox, PS5 getting Halo and what's the other game? Flight Sim. PS5 and Switch. True? Yes or no? All right, we've started the Google Doc. Here's my super duper official Google Doc. And we can track Nate the Hate's accuracy together. Prediction: PS5 and Switch getting Halo and Flight Sim. What else did he say in the past? He said, what else did he say? He said something else, right? Oh, full slate. Didn't he say like a bunch of Xbox games are coming to PlayStation? I don't know. We'll come back to it. It's all right. If you have any more, maybe off stream, I'll go see how accurate Nate the Hate has been. But anyway, VG247 says Xbox first announced February 2024 plans to bring a wave of games to PlayStation and Switch in what appeared to be a significant change of strategy, starting with Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded. We know Indiana Jones has a timed window. Doom the Dark Ages. Doom the Dark Ages, like, that's not a thing, right? Doom the Dark Ages coming to other platforms. That's how it's always been. Outer Worlds 2 coming to other platforms. That's how it's always been. They said that. They did say it was about new games. Like, obviously, Microsoft has changed their strategies, and yeah. All right. The whole story is basically the tweet that summed it up in the beginning. So to sum it up in the beginning, rumor as per Insider Nate the Hate, Halo the Master Chief Collection and Microsoft Flight Simulator are coming to Switch 2 and PS5 in 2025. We will see. Nate, we're tracking your stories. We should make one for Jez too. Should we make one for Jez? Don't make one for me, okay? Don't make one for Destin. It's not going to go in my favor. It's not going to go well for me. I also found this old story, though. Fallout 4 was explored for Switch some years ago, it's claimed. It has been claimed that Bethesda Game Studios was once exploring bringing Fallout 4 to Nintendo Switch. That checks out. Phil Roney says, "Oh, I'm going to." That one actually checks out because they brought Skyrim over to the Switch. And then what I imagine happened is maybe Skyrim didn't sell that well on the Switch, or there were performance issues that made it harder to get over there. And they just stopped working towards it. That's from Imran Khan, actually. Imran's pretty legit. He doesn't mess around. It has been claimed that Bethesda Game Studios was once exploring bringing Fallout 4 to Nintendo Switch. This report surfaced on Reset Era recently, coming courtesy of an insider by the name of Imran Khan, who has a high ratings per the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. Yeah, Imran's legit. Imran's legit for sure. He suggested that Pete Hines himself, the man who recently retired from a 24-year career at Bethesda Game Studios, was informing publications to prep a story for an impending announcement. What would have happened there? This was explored for Switch some years ago to the point where Hines told my boss at the time to expect it, who then had me prep a story. Never came to fruition, though. What do y'all think? Do you think that's real? That's totally believable to me. Fallout 4 on Switch? Sure, why not? It runs on the if it ran on the Steam Deck, if it's Steam Deck certified, it absolutely was considered for the Switch at one point. The question would be, why in the world would they not do it? So my complete guess would have to be that it has to do with the fact that there were performance issues with Skyrim, or it was just difficult to do. It seems absolutely legit. There's no world where they're just going to be like, yeah, let's just not do it. We're just not going to do it, you know? So I think performance issues or something. But anyway, this whole story about Halo Master Chief Collection going to PS5, I'm very indifferent on it, personally. I have accepted that that's Microsoft's strategy. We can talk about it all you want. Like, everybody's going to have their personal reaction. But at the end of the day, do you think Phil Spencer is going to be like, yeah, you guys are right. We're going to stop putting Call of Duty on PlayStation. Like, the Pandora's box has been opened. Pandora's box will not be closing in the near future. That's just how things are going to be. What's the graphics of Switch 2 comparable to? We don't really know. There's a Digital Foundry video where they talked about the motherboard that was leaked and what that could potentially mean. As long as I have Game Pass, I don't give a damn, says Big Mad Mo. That's exactly how I feel. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to play on my computer. Like, I'm going to play on PC. And that's fine. Like, if you're upset as a console player, I get that. But like for Destin, my personal reaction is just like, okay, I'll play it on computer. Because that's what Microsoft has been doing that for years. And knowing that PC is usually the most future-proof platform because you can install mods or whatever, that's usually my platform of preference. Speaking of things that I like, Bungie had some details come out. Exclusive details on Bungie's MOBA Smash Bros. Hybrid Gummy Bears under new PlayStation Studio. So long story short, there's been this game rumored for a long time from Bungie. Image Bungie, Sony via the game post. So this is the game. I don't know what that is. Tim Dog says it's all coming. I just wish they would be upfront about it. That's why I get PO'd. They can be open and transparent. It would go over better. I think they've been pretty open though, Tim. Like, Phil Spencer has basically said as much at this point. We need to think about how games are released. We need to, I think he's been pretty clear now, ever since Indiana Jones and Gamescom this year. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah. They're probably going to release more stuff. I hear you though. I get why. Well, like you were like huge in Xbox, like even more so than I was. I am, I should say. Anyway, it's supposedly a MOBA. Bungie have been quietly working on a new IP codenamed Gummy Bears, a team-based competitive MOBA game. I'm out. Like, here's the official statement. We are working with PlayStation Studios leadership to spin out one of our incubation projects to form a new studio within PlayStation Studios to continue its promising development. Uh, what in the world are they making? This is the game? Like, you wear chicken suits? I don't know. I don't know if this is the game that they're making. First of all, you know what the first thing that popped in my mind was? PlayStation All Stars. Absolutely PlayStation All Stars. And I saw a bunch of people talking about that today. It's just another beat 'em up. Replace all of these characters with PlayStation IP and just make PlayStation All Stars 2. You're basically making that already. I don't know who that cat is. Why would I want to play as a cat? I don't get the chicken references. Who's that character with an umbrella? Is it Mary Poppins? Like, I, I don't know. I don't know how you market something like this. Like, you compare this to League of Legends. League of Legends has cool character designs. This looks like a game for kids. And maybe it is. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the heck this game is supposed to be. So it was reported back in 2023. Does anybody like this style? Is anybody digging this art style? I'm just taking a temperature check. I'm not trying to slam it or anything like that. It's not for Destin, but I am sort of curious what your reaction is to the art style. I'm in the I don't know, man. I'm not digging it. But it is just a piece of concept art. I don't I think I need to see the characters in motion. But to me, I see that and it looks like a game for kids to me. So it's a MOBA at its core. Here we go. Players won't have traditional health bars. Instead, the game uses a percentage-based damage system where characters are knocked back further based on how much damage they've taken or inflicted. Players can even be knocked off the map entirely. Oh, it's Smash Brothers. It's it's Super Smash Brothers Melee. I'm sorry, did I say MOBA? It's Smash. It's literally PlayStation All Stars. It's PlayStation All Stars. Here are the key details we've learned. It's a PvP team-based competitive game, Smash Bros. While fundamentally a MOBA, the game's Smash Bros. Influences mean it feels distinct from other entries in the genre, falling off maps and replacing health bar eliminations. Concept-wise, I'll say this, concept-wise, I like the idea of a MOBA that mixes Smash Bros. Like, imagine a MOBA and you're fighting and you don't really have a life bar, but eventually you can get like smacked into the screen, old school style. You could do that in Killer Instinct. You could do the finisher and you would knock them and they would go right into the screen. And I think Clay Fighter did that. I like that. PlayStation All Stars without the stars. So Drew, that's a comment from Drew there in chat. If they rework this though, and it's PlayStation All Stars with the stars, I don't know. I think it could work, but all those no-name characters, I don't know. I don't know about that. Let me look up the League of Legends. Like, I'm not a MOBA guy. Let's look up League of Legends. I'll do it off stream just to make sure like no crazy images pop up or anything like that. So like, as a guy, I know nothing about League of Legends. Like here's the artwork for League of Legends. These are cool designs. These are visually intriguing. It's more dark, so I guess I'm more about that. But like, this thing looks pretty neat. He's like a half robot dog thing. Crazy. Is that a gun? Gun wielding lady? Sure. Vampire guy and cool elf thing. If you know League of Legends, I'd greatly apologize. I have no idea who these characters are, but my immediate reaction is, I like these character designs. That's pretty cool. My immediate reaction to the Gummy Bears concept art is it looks more like What is that game that was really popular a few years back where everybody would fight to do objectives and then you try and cross the finish line first? It was like, what was it called? It wasn't, can't remember the name of it. Fall Guys. Looks like Fall Guys. All right, continuing on with what they learned. Anyway, sorry. Gummy Bears is described as having lo-fi and cozy vibes. Yeah, okay. A sharp departure from Bungie's usual dramatic high-stakes sci-fi worlds. The project has been praised internally as Bungie's most fun project out of incubation. The game is targeting a younger demographic with vibrant, colorful... Oh, it is for kids. It's literally for kids. They're targeting a younger demographic with vibrant, colorful visuals. Okay. It's been in development for at least 3 years. Maybe it won't be that bad, but lo-fi and cozy for kids. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. I like this. This piece of concept art's good. Image Bungie. Where are they getting these images? Are these exclusive images to them? Because they're crediting Bungie. Did Bungie release some art? I don't. Did Bungie release something recently that I just missed? So this is from a year ago. Huh. I don't see anything. It's all from Game Post. It all references the Game Post, which is this same article. And then, yeah, okay. I like to try and find the original source. So they're crediting Bungie with the images, but I think that these are exclusive images that they got. Also, I haven't heard of the Game Post, but I kind of like this website. Like, I dig the design. It's nice. I've been learning. I've been discovering a lot of these new sites. I dig it. Please stop. You're hurting me. Destin giving off. Oh, it's one of those Pokemons while looking at Call of Duty vibes. Yeah. Sorry. I'm old. I don't play all the new MOBAs. I do like this concept, but beyond that, I don't know. How do we feel about Gummy Bears? Game of the Year 2025? What do we think about Gummy Bears? Game of the Year 2025? Half the people bailed. I think it's time to move on to Nintendo Switch or something. They're just like, I can't do this anymore. Here's a quick PSA, everybody. Go sign up for the Elden Ring Night Rain network test. That's right. They have confirmed that you can get in on the network test for Elden Ring Night Rain. I have already signed up. I hope you can too. Be sure you verify your email once you do the sign up. Here's what they say. As night falls, we rise. Elden Ring Night Ring is a standalone adventure within the Elden Ring universe, crafted to bring a new gaming experience. Join forces with other players to take on the creeping night and the dangers within. Sign up now for your chance to take on the night in the Night Rain network test. Coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Seriously, though, go sign up for it. There really is a network test. So they're going to allow people to play the game early, try it out. If you're a huge Elden Ring fan, you should definitely jump in on this. I was doing my corny presenter voice. What's available? The network test is a preliminary verification test in which the selected testers play a portion of the game prior to the full game launch. Various technical verifications of online systems will be examined by conducting large-scale network load tests. Schedule. Registration period begins today and ends on the 20th. Go register now. The schedule is on the 14th from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. Prime time for Destin. It's on the 14th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then the 15th and 16th. And you can sign in for your chance to participate. I did PlayStation 5 because I just have a feeling, because it's a larger install base, that you'll probably have a higher chance of getting it on PlayStation 5, but maybe I'll do a different email and pick Xbox just in case. I wish Xbox stuff happened more often, but usually PlayStation codes are plentiful and Yeah. Ole. Hello, Destin. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Ole, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Is available to do trailer. Yeah. Destin is available to do trailer voiceovers and bar mitzvahs. I sure am. The person behind Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Oh, guys, I got some bad news. Hey, illegal dad. I got some bad news. It turns out that those Switch images we saw yesterday, they weren't official, you guys. Everybody. Y'all. Nintendo tells Japanese newspaper, the Sankei Shimbun, the images and videos from CES are not official. Those weren't actually the Switch 2, everybody. I can't believe it, for one. I thought for sure. Regarding the images and videos, they are not official. I mean, we all knew they weren't official, right? But it gets juicier. Nintendo has also released a statement to CNET Japan saying the gaming hardware that Genki claims to be Nintendo hardware at CES is unofficial and was not provided to the company by Nintendo. I mean, we knew it was unofficial. We knew it was unofficial, but it gets a little more complicated because Genki also said, oh, we're designing these based off of leaks. Well, thank you, Ole. I appreciate it. So all of that has happened since yesterday when the news broke. Just wanted to make sure everybody was caught up. That, guys, everybody, y'all, anyone watching? That's not a real Switch 2. Thank goodness they clarified. I was really I thought that was it for sure. Let's be honest, though, in all seriousness, I do think this is pretty close to the final product that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be, right? I think it's obviously going to be about that price. Play Kelly Play says no one is going to touch a $400 or $500 console. I mean, the PS... I dunked on the PS5 Pro, but it's selling just fine. PlayStation has come out and said that the price had no negative impact on their sales. So I think people are less risk averse to pricing than we might think. So I think if the Switch 2 is $400 or $500, I do think that it will sell at that price point. I think the Switch, however, I think Nintendo was smart, and I think they will price it at $399. How much is the Switch now? It'll be more than the Switch is now. So how much is the Switch? You can get one for $299, like brand new, $299 for a Switch. You can get an OLED for $270. These are like from off-brand sites. You can get the Switch Lite for $167 at Walmart. So I'm just looking at like whatever this shop site is, and you can sort of see. Here's an OLED from the actual website. This website, Nintendo.com. And it's $349. Okay, so like with that context, I think they might launch the Switch 2 at $499. How much do we think the Switch 2 is going to cost? I'm going to do another poll. I like doing these polls. This is fun. How much will the Switch 2 cost? $399, $499. I don't think they go above that. More, less. So we'll do four options. We'll do $399 or $499. That's where I think it's going to be. And then I added more or less because I think anything more than that is going to be too much. $499 is too much. I think it launches at $499. I think they're going to do a really good job marketing it. But like if you look at the OLED, the Nintendo Switch OLED on Nintendo.com, like a brand new one, it's the one I have. Do you want to see it? It's right here. This, to buy it brand new from Nintendo.com, the Switch OLED, this one with the nice, it's like a nicer screen. I don't really know what the features are anymore. But I bought this one. This is the one I bought. It's $349 already. I don't think they would do the sequel to this No, the bot should be on, Clay. I don't think they would do the sequel to the Switch OLED, which is available on their site right now for like $50 more. No, I think it's going to be $4.99. Or they could do $4.49. $4.49 would make sense. Maybe they do $4.49. Or maybe they have two SKUs. Maybe they have a $3.99 SKU and a $4.99 SKU that comes with like a controller or something, you know. $4.99 with dock, $3.99 without dock. I think you're on the money there, Aaron. I think that's what it is. Ollie, thank you for becoming a member. I do greatly appreciate you joined at the Epic tier. The Epic tier means you get access to ad-free clips of the stream. And also my TV turned off randomly. Why did my TV turn off? Oh. My Switch keeps trying to connect to the TV. That's why it keeps turning off. There's Nightbot, Clay. It's right there. Yeah, and by the way, you can support the channel by supporting the Patreon, patreon.com/SaveStatePlus. You can hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when my content goes live. Just watching does help. And also you can become a member on YouTube. I have the benefits listed on the back end of memberships. You can click that join button below the video if you are interested in supporting this independent venture in games coverage for Destin Legary. $4.99 and sell out within 1 minute. Tim is on the money. Who would not buy this? Who's like, I'm not going to get it. To be fair, this is mainly an Xbox focused channel, so I think a lot of y'all wouldn't get it. Okay, so 7% of people are saying less. It's very split between $3.99 and $4.99 though. Who in chat picked more? Who thinks it's going to be more than $499? Who are you? Show yourself. How dare you? Who in chat said that it would be more than $4.99? And if you think it would be more than $4.99, what is that price point? Didn't vote because no $4.49 option. Sorry, Lionheart. I did due to them NVIDIA prices. Yeah, well, NVIDIA. No, if it's more than $499, who voted for that, first of all? And second of all, what would they price it at? $5.99? There is no world. And I keep talking at the mic because chat's over here. So my mic peaks. I need to fix that also. Bro, a $600 Switch. There's no way. There is no way they do $600 for the Switch. All right. Clip it. Here's my prediction for the Switch 2 price. $449. That's my prediction. Take it or leave it. Closest without going over rules. $449. That is my price prediction for the Switch 2. If I don't go over the actual price, I win. I win the game. Fired. Play, Kelly, play. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hearing good things about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2's dedication to letting me be a drunk, boorish oaf is so committed, it honestly left me astounded. Preview. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 feels like a hobgoblin game built for late nights, days off work, and to complement your headiest rot days. What good news, everybody. If I'm right, you all have to become members. You all have to subscribe and become members. No, I'm just kidding. Here's another preview from somebody else. This is a YouTuber who wrote, I was feeling quite hungry for an immersive medieval RPG, and 40 hours into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm even more hungry to keep playing. Another positive preview. 20 hours in, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a mad systems-driven sandbox that captures some of the best parts of games like Stalker. And it's two silly drunks being all silly there. Here's another one from Game Riot Andy. Game Riot Army, he's a huge fan of me. Shout out to Game Riot Army. Thank you for all your support over the years. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is shaping up to be something very special. I'm 18 hours into the game, and I can't stop playing it. A small side quest can turn into an hour-and-a-half adventure with unexpected twists and turns. Make sure Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is on your radar and full preview is up on the channel. So go check out Game Riot's preview. They really liked it. Insider Gaming, Grant over at Insider Gaming checked it out. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 preview, a cinematic masterpiece in progress. Cinematic masterpiece is not what I would have expected people to say about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I'm down. I'm very interested in that. And then I just brought up the Twitter thread. Brittany Brombatcher. Hi, Brittany. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 so far is blowing me away. The system's progression mechanics all work flawlessly to potentially still have a lot of game to go. Create the most immersive open world RPG I've played. Awesome. We talked about Game Riot, Neon Knight. So I've been playing a lot. Oh, look at his character. Is that his character? That's really cool. To say I'm obsessed would be an understatement, and I haven't even left the starting area yet. That's crazy. VG247. Oh, we already read that one. VGC says, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a bigger and bolder RPG in every single way, and after playing the game's opening few hours, we're hungry for more. I haven't seen a negative preview about this game. Like, I know previews are usually softer because, like, if I write a preview, unless it's, you know, Suicide Squad, which I was very negative about, I'm usually hopeful that any issues I encounter will be corrected. I will point them out and I'll be like, this is a preview. The game's coming out in a while. These issues could be corrected. And if it's not like a fundamental mechanic, but to not see any criticism on the timeline is very impressive. Kringleberry says, Destin, congrats on your successful career with IGN and good luck with the future. Thank you so much, Kringle. Lord Cognito. Positive. Andy Robson he works it over at VGC, did the preview. Windows Central, even limited to playing only its opening hours for preview, were captivated by Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. First 10 hours are simply incredible. It is a more accessible entry into the series, and with its rousing score, new mechanics, and gorgeous environments, it's certainly one to look out for. I mean, do you want me to keep going? Huge win for Warhorse, right? Yeah, Warhorse Studios. Huge W. What great news for them. I'm really excited. This is the game that I plan to cover for February. And plan is I need to get the Path of Exile 2 review done. I don't think he cares if I tell you. So for Path of Exile 2, I'm going to do a review, and let me know what you think about this. I'm going to do my review for Path of Exile 2, and after he has his interview with Jonathan Rogers, Darth Microtransaction and I are going to come on and talk about my review, talk about what I got wrong from my perspective as a player, as a newer player, what he agrees with, what he thinks I got wrong. How do you feel about that with a review format? I like the idea of doing a review and having an additional piece of content where somebody who's either smarter than me, which is basically anybody, right? Somebody who's smarter than me can come on and have a conversation about it and discuss the review and maybe what they thought or their different opinion. I kind of like that. Done with YouTube and social. Oh man, Tim Dog, I got some bad news. You're watching me on YouTube right now. Me parenting, trying to finish Indiana Jones when the kids sleep. I thought about doing Indiana Jones. I need to get the Path of Exile 2 review done. AA studios are carrying the industry right now. I am so happy to see AA games just kind of doing their thing. Brian T says, I like any content that tells Destin how wrong he is. Here's the thing about me that a lot of people might not realize. Like, I am down for having a conversation with somebody who's like, you got this wrong, or like, that's why I don't really block anybody on social media, because they get all riled up if I forget 343 Guilty Spark or whatever like that. But I'm not going to block you for calling me out about making a mistake unless you get like super nasty. But people don't usually go that far. A few people have, but I still don't usually block them. It's like, I don't think I'm smarter than any of you. I don't think and I want to be very clear. I don't think about myself as like the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't think I'm a know-it-all. I have been very opinionated about my stances, but even when arguing with PlayStation fans, eventually I came to understand that, oh, you're okay with paying $70 because you feel like you get the value there. So that's how I see myself. I don't think the internet sees me that way. I think they see me as a know-it-all sometimes, but I do my best not to be like that, and I'll keep working at it. Is it true that games coming from Xbox to PlayStation? I'm not sure about that. What's your opinion on the next Xbox hybrid? I am super down. We had another insider gaming story. Whoops. Hit the intro button. Tim Dog. Yeah, like Tim Dog, you were super Xbox centric. What are my most controversial videos on this channel? It's like the time I forgot 343's Guilty Spark's name. I got like, somebody clipped it out on Twitter and everyone's like, this guy's the worst. He doesn't know Guilty Spark. All those I think there's a disconnect between what I'm trying to accomplish with those videos. I'm trying to record a video where I read the news and I sort of have a live reaction to it, where I present the information, but I also have my personal reaction. And like, I'm not trying to be like a buttoned up news guy. I don't think that type of content is super well received. It's all right. They're Halo Studios right now. See, they couldn't even remember what their name stood for. So they were like, yeah, let's just call ourselves Halo Studios. That's way easier to remember than Guilty Spark. Just joking. But anyway, I don't mean to go off on that. It's definitely been on my mind lately. And I have a lot to prove. There's a lot of people out there who don't think I can do it or don't think I have the chops. And I'm just like, you know what? A, you care enough to publicly call me out by name. That says something about what you're doing. If people care enough to write your legal name and talk about you at length, it's like, well, if you care enough to have an opinion about me, I will take whatever I can from that and try and improve. But it also says a lot about the fact that you even care enough to write about me. The worst thing is people not having any opinion about you. But anyway, you got to take the L's when you take the L's, try and learn from them and be better. That's what champs do. New studio in LA working on groundbreaking AAA, could be Jason Blundell's next adventure, writes Insider Gaming. Now, they are referencing this report from Reset Era, where PlayStation has a new studio in LA working on a new IP, found a job in Wayfarer post, and here's the job posting. It's for a senior producer, and they seem to reference that this is a new studio. Position is full-time in office. Oh, real quick. Running it up says, problem is Destin. He flipped and dumped on the whole fan base that gave him a name. The arrogance after hasn't helped him either. Running up, do you want to call in and talk about it? I mean, I think you would be a good representative to talk about however you feel about the situation. Tim Dog says, do a Clips account. Do all the socials accounts grind? Here, real quick. So I do this from time to time. Some people are still upset about the Xbox tax thing. So if you want to talk about it, I'm going to open the Discord here for a second and we can have a conversation about it. I think having conversations with people is something I would like to see a lot more of. And if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to join the Discord and have a conversation. Let me find my Discord here. I'll link it to you in just a second. Boop. All right, I'll be in the calling in. Well, I'll go into the waiting room because it's locked. So just go into the calling in if you want to talk about it. If you feel that strongly about it. Clay, how the heck do I invite people here? All right. And just generally speaking, if you want to join the Discord, you can just hop in. Good to see you, Tim Dog. Thanks for stopping by, Tim Dog. It was great. Hey, Destin, who's a better dancer, you or oh no, it's Alex? Okay, so invitation stands. I will leave that open for anybody. I'll put the Discord over here. And if you actually want to talk about that, because it does sound like People, what did he say? He called me arrogant. And problem is, Destin, he flipped and dumped on the whole fan base that gave him a name. The arrogance after hasn't helped him either. Or I can just read your can I see your channel activity? Yeah, here we go. Boop. All right. So you can just type too if you're not comfortable calling in. Let's talk about it. So he said, problem is, Destiny flipped and dumped on the whole fan base that gave him a name. The arrogance after hasn't helped him either. I do not see myself as arrogant. I do not think I'm perfect. I've not been perfect in all of my content creation. So just to be clear about where I stand. Did you want to comment further or no? Whoops. Oh, well. We tried, y'all. Offer stands if you would like to talk more. The comment is not meant towards you. Oh. Wait, what do you mean it's not meant towards me? Oh, my bad. Running Up says, you are a good guy. All right. Well, just so everybody in chat knows, I want to be very clear. If you ever want to like be critical about content I have made, I've probably read your article about me or seen your post about me. And if I can take something away from that and say, next time, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to make sure I do X, Y, Z and continue to try and be better. I think that's all any of us can do. So addressing the Xbox tax video as an example, right? I probably would have figured out a better way to do that. I wouldn't have used some of the terminology I used in the video, or yeah, how I presented some of the information in the past has been flagged as not a way that you're supposed to do it. And it's tricky, right? You put something out there and half the people get it and half the people don't. And that's just part of content creation, I think. Sometimes the video blows up. You don't intend it to. Your message is misconstrued. And yeah, just sort of thinking out loud. I should probably get out of my own head, right? Hey, Dustin, were there any issues with games from Asia makers from Western media? I don't really know what you're referencing, but no. I mean, if you're talking about Black Myth Wukong, I literally said it's my game of the year. So not from my perspective. I don't think so. And like Marvel Rivals is from NetEase. Let's see how games made overseas or published overseas are doing lately. Let's see how games are doing that are made not in the Western market. Let's see. Marvel Rivals, literally the #2 game on the market. It is made in, I think it's made in China, and it's published by NetEase, right? Yeah, NetEase Games. Path of Exile 2, Grinding Gear Games, published by Tencent, made abroad. PUBG from Krafton, they're an international company, doing quite well still. Larian Studios, still somehow in the top spot. Metaphor Refantagio, got a bunch of people's game of the year. So yeah, to answer your question, and I hope I did so correct. Oh, Pal World was controversial. I think a lot of times we hear a lot of noise on Twitter and on social media about these games, but what's the reality of the situation? Most people are just playing the games and having a good time. Astrobot, made in Tokyo. S Jinzo 86. Do Naughty Dog still hate you, Destin? S Jinzo, are you referencing the Uncharted 2 screw attack stuff from like 20 years ago, or something else that I'm not aware of? I am not aware of Naughty Dog ever hating me, except for way back, because I got my first scoop ever in the industry was that Uncharted 2 would have multiplayer. And I launched that exclusively, and it kind of got picked up in the industry. And the industry was a lot smaller back then. And I know they were not happy about that. So I'm continuing my streak 20 years long of not being liked by everybody. And yeah, because I reported a story. Yeah, basically I got an exclusive about that particular thing happening. What else we got here? Oh yeah, so there's this new studio. I personally, for me, I wasn't too interested in the story. So there's a new Sony studio in LA working on groundbreaking AAA, and it could be Jason Blundell's next adventure. Now, I didn't know what he did, but he departed Deviation Games in September. But I don't know what he did. Like, who's Jason Blundell? Blundell boasts a stunning career that saw him march through high-profile roles at Treyarch during Call of Duty's peak. Interesting stuff. He was instrumental in the success and popularity of the franchise's zombie ecosystem, but in February 2020, he departed the company to found Deviation Games, and then they got shut down. Huh. So they think that he is launching a studio. That's kind of interesting. I think that could be kind of cool. What else we got here? I think we just have one story left. We're on the last story. By the way, I woke up today and I'm like, oh, I'm probably not going to be able to live stream. There's no news today. And then it's like Xbox leak from Nate the Hate and all of this stuff happened. Marvel Rivals got their first patch. It's like the #2 game on Steam right now. It's absolutely incredible. It says Marvel Rivals officially reveals new battle pass for Season 1, Darkhold. Unlock 10 all new costumes and more cosmetics. Season 1 battle pass, Darkhold. Marvel Rivals has released the official trailer for Season 1 battle pass, and here's what you get. A bunch of skins. Darkhold contains 2 powerful spells that have aroused interest in opposing forces. The Vampiric... Oh, this is the trailer we watched the other day. So here's the battle pass. Let's check it out. Please do... By the way, when I said I was going to get flagged on that last stream for music, I absolutely got it. Here's the trailer.
Your powers are mine!
Oh, that's pretty cool. So he steals other heroes' powers? That's going to be broken, right? Oh, sorry, guy. Sorry, everybody. Thank you, Phil Ronnie. This looks cool. Or maybe that's just the Wolverine skin. Yeah, sorry, Philoroni. I like the costumes. Is it a free battle pass or is it paid? These are cool. I played a little Punisher and I liked it. What do we think of the skins, chat? You digging it? Who's been playing Marvel Rivals in chat? Anybody? Anyone? Oh, chat's got another Nate the Hate thing for the spreadsheet. Nate the Hate teased on Twitter that Assassin's Creed Ezio Trilogy would come to Nintendo Switch. Okay. Teased. We're going to add it to the list. Teased. What was it? AC on Switch. Yes. All right. That's one for him. W/L ratio. So far, it's 100%. So far, based on the one rumor that I know of that Nate the Hate has said, he has a 100% win ratio. I'll keep you posted on Nate the Hate, on Nate the Hate's accuracy in the near future. Nate the Hate's the guy who talked about the stuff. I like the skins. Just showing you the screen here really quick. These are the skins that are coming available. I really dig the Wolverine one. I was really glad. Oh man, is that Moon Knight? Moon Knight looks sick. I could like do this And then maybe you could see it. Yeah, Moon Knight looks really good. I like how Moon Knight looks. Definitely, 100%. Please address the title of this live stream. What other games are going to PlayStation from Xbox? Furious Legacy, the live stream does have a rewind feature. I covered all that at the top, but the games that are being rumored are Flight Simulator and Halo. Those are the new rumored games coming to the platform. We're at the end of the stream and we did not hit the chat. So I refuse to answer any questions. Did you do a video on the Wukong issues with Xbox? Working on that. That is coming to the Patreon soon. I've started it. Let me see if I have it here. I can show you. Because I started working on that script. I am 3 pages in, talking about how, I mean, I could give you a little tease. I'll give you a little tease right here. The Xbox Series S is a little console that could. It can play games that its big brother, the Xbox Series X, can, and it's an incredibly cheap option that accounts for about 49% of the Xbox console sales. However, it's also being blamed for holding Xbox back when it comes to third-party game releases. This is because Xbox has something called a parity clause. The parity clause means that the game which would come to the Xbox Series X console would also need to run on the less powerful Xbox Series S console. Long story short, it is an issue with optimization. And I detail the stories, other past stories about it, and there's 3 more pages of that. That was like the opening paragraph. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. It is a Friday, everybody. I do hope that you end up having a wonderful day today. I truly mean that. Let's end this poll here quick. Just doing some housekeeping here. I don't know if I'm going to get a clip out of today's stream. I should probably go. I do have guests. I had to drive to LA to get my mom because they diverted her flight to Los Angeles. So, and then the car, like, I drive an electric car, and then the car ran out of juice, and then we were in like a power outage area, and then we ended up finding a plug-in, so I was able to do that, and yeah, anyway. Jeff S., happy Friday. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Jeff S. This has been a lot of fun to work on and just enjoy with y'all. And thank you to everybody over on Twitch. I have been seeing your comments and kind words. Thank you, Garfield. I do appreciate you stopping by. I see y'all over there. I see Garfield. I see you, Ryan. I see Kringle. I appreciate everyone very much. I drive an Ioniq, Eric. I like it a lot. I'm going to do the outro thing for the VOD, but before I do the thing, just in case I edited anything out of this. Oh, chat, while I have you, what do you think about me doing live streams and then doing clip outs as a story for the next day? Because I think that is a sustainable workflow, but I put a poll on the YouTube and they're like, we want bespoke news videos. So I'm torn. Do I do nicer edits of the stream clip outs? Or do I do bespoke news videos where I got it more together? I kind of like the clips because it meets all of the needs that I have always targeted these being. Like, they're supposed to be raw, they're supposed to be honest, and like just a natural reaction. Bespoke news videos is the better format play, Kelly. Yeah. I think bigger stories you should go into detail. Well, those are going to be the op-eds, I think. Weekly big news, daily clips. I like that. That is a happy medium. I like the idea of doing a big video for the weekend that goes over everything that happened in the week, like a long form, just me talking about the news, like radio host style. And then potentially clips for the week, because news is so fast. If I wait too long, the video's dead. Like, if I were to do the Switch 2 today, it's going to get like 2,000 views. Weekly summary. I do like weekly summary. You know who I really enjoy, actually? I like Steven Totillo's content quite a bit. So I like his stuff quite a bit. Let's see how the video for today. So today's video that went up, it was a clip out, and it was about the Xbox Developer Direct. It did okay. It's at 4.5 thousand views. I actually don't think I promoted it or anything. So that's like no promoting or anything. Well, I'll think more on it. I'm going to go spend some time with my mom. My mom does not get to visit very often. Obviously, you know, I'm a very busy person. This has been great. I really enjoy doing these live streams. I don't know that I'm going to be able to keep doing them in the morning. I have some other stuff, obviously, like life stuff that might prevent me from doing them in the morning. So we might go back to like a UK time zone thing. I don't really know. That will be figured out likely early February. I will have a more concrete schedule. But for now, to celebrate the launch of the Patreon and everybody doing just super nice things and saying nice things, except for that one guy. Just kidding. I've been doing these regular streams. I wanted to do it for the first week. Just like, hey, I'm independent. Here, we're doing the news. I'm trying to be honest about how I feel about stuff. And I hope I've been doing well. I hope you've been enjoying it. All right, I'm going to do the clip out now. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this content, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell. I greatly appreciate you watching. And don't forget, I do have a Patreon. If you want to support on Patreon, you can go on over to patreon.com/SaveStatePlus. That is the best way to support. You can also support via YouTube memberships and get your name on this page. You can join the YouTube memberships right below. The Platinum supporters are Christopher Eddy, Phil Aroni, The Scarecrow 121, Inner Machine, Savage 03, and Spin Getter 889. Thank you so much for making my independent games coverage possible. To all of the patrons and all of the members, thank you. I'm going to get out of here. Before I go, check out the Xbox Developer Direct news that I covered yesterday, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.